People settle for a level of despair they can tolerate and call it happiness. Truth is not introduced into the individual from without, but was within him all the time. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. During the first period of a man's life, the greatest danger is not to take the risk. The task must be made difficult, for only the difficult inspires the noble-hearted. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. Boredom is the root of all evil, the despairing refusal to be oneself. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly one you'll never have. Most men pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that they hurry past it. It is the duty of the human understanding to understand that there are things which it cannot understand. Shut your eyes to everything else and do not let yourself be disturbed by people. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. Our life always expresses the result of our dominant thoughts. It is not the path which is the difficulty, rather, it is the difficulty which is the path. Philosophy is life's dry nurse, who can take care of us, but not suckle us. Anxiety can just as well express itself by muteness as by a scream. Life has its own hidden forces, which you can only discover by living. Death cannot explain itself. The earnestness consists precisely in this, that the observer must explain it to himself. To be a woman is something so strange, so confusing and so complicated, that only a woman could put up with it. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. Personality is only ripe when a man has made the truth his own. The truth is a trap, you cannot get it without it getting you. You cannot get the truth by capturing it, only by its capturing you. The question is not to be or not to be, it is what we should be until we are not. Freedom's possibility is not the ability to choose the good or the evil, the possibility is to be able. Far from idleness being the root of all evil, it is rather the only true good. The unhappy person is never present to themselves, because they always live in the past or the future. Deep within every human being there still lives the anxiety over the possibility of being alone in the world. Unhappiness is not to love without being loved, but to be loved when one does not love. Take a chance and you may lose. Take not a chance and you have lost already. Human relations are like the irregular verbs in a number of languages, where nearly all verbs are irregular. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. It is so hard to believe, because it is so hard to obey.